Alright guys, welcome everyone to another episode of the Warmup here. I'm here with the guys as per usual. It's me, Chris the Shooter. We got the process, question mark. Got Kev RL in the building. Welcome back. And then we have Kent Shot, Won't Shot. Say what's up to the crowd, guys.
What's up?
What it do?
Cool. And if this is your first time rocking with us, this is a place where we talk about sports, current events, and everything in between through the lens of black culture. If you're on the Spotify side or the podcast side of things, we're now on Apple Podcasts, we're on Google Podcasts, we're all over the place now. So check us out there, man. If you're on there, check us out on the YouTube side. If you're on the YouTube side, hey, check us out on the audio side. Like I said, we're on your favorite podcast platform now. So we're just getting bigger and stronger and better. We're going to try to expand our reach as much as possible. Yeah, anything y'all want to add to that?
Hey, we love the expansion. We love everything you guys give back to us, man. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, let's just jump
right
into the.
At least our process is better than somebody else's process.
Wow. Wait. But this is game 7 though. You may be good at games 1 through 5. Game 7, you know. I wouldn't put him off the bench. I'll just say it like that. So. But let's get right into it, man. The biggest news.
I'll say really is game 6 too. Okay.
Hold on, so you basically...
I'm saying they always be having a chance at game 6, flub it, and go on this game 7 to lose it. That seems to be the pattern.
You're right. So any game, series clinching decisions, big decisions, he just finds a way to take a nap, go night. I'll catch it tomorrow.
Definitely night. Coma.
Wow, y'all got a lot of animosity, man. Let's just talk about it, man. Big news, man. Ben Simmons, man, his stock is at an all-time low after Philly has been bounced from the playoffs. The calls to have the number one overall pick, man, to get traded. He just, they don't want him no more. Philadelphia wants him gone, and with a 34% free throw shooting percentage, single-digit scoring. I can see why. Now he has this dubious honor of having the worst free throw percentage, overtaking Will Chamberlain and Shaq, and we know how bad Shaq was in the playoffs. So Ben Simmons, it's some dark days. He's in a dark place, guys. He's in a dark place. What should happen with Ben Simmons? The process, then. Let's start with you.
You know what? I'm gonna go back to my blow it up days too, man. Not blow it up. Let's.
I think you say you're just talking about Ben right now.
Let me take it a step back. I went straight for the jugular. Everybody's seen the stats, right? Ben Simmons, through 7 playoff games, he only made 3 buckets. 7 playoff games, 3 buckets. Mm-hmm. So that's like that friend that always says they're coming but never shows up. That's that friend that says, "Hey, yeah, I'll be there when you need me," but they're never there, right? That's what that is, man. And you got to think about it in that way, make it more relatable.
R&B back tonight.
It's just he's that basketball player that you just can't depend on. He's supposed to be the second pillar in Philadelphia. They have too much money invested in Ben Simmons at this point. At the jump shot, I guess they had to pay him. Whatever. They got to get him people that can, I would say, maximize his strengths, but all he's showing us is that he can play defense. He can dribble past half court and pass it to somebody, because he wasn't even setting up the plays. He was so quick to get the ball out of his hands. And rebounding, I have to look at his stats, but I guess it was okay. I don't remember seeing, he got 20 boards or 15 boards.
It wasn't impressive.
It wasn't outstanding, yeah.
Yeah, so just defense. So, he's not a more athletic Draymond Green.
Don't say just defense.
What is he?
He's a good passer.
I'm just saying, I know how great his defense is. I ain't counting that, but defense isn't a just. Defense is defense. Offense is offense, not just defense.
You're right. I guess I'm saying just defense from where they expect him to be. The second best player in Philly. So yeah, you're right. It's not just because
you're rating it at the same time. You're rating his defense at the same time when you say just. Okay,
not just. But we need more. So what to do? Yeah, let me go back to the original question. What to do? It's more roster moves. you have to give Ben somebody a playmaking point guard, which he's never had. That's supposed to be Fultz.
Wait, ain't he supposed to be the playmaker?
He's supposed to be the guy.
We need 5 more pieces.
You need more pieces, man.
Kyrie all over
Kyrie
again.
Irving, man.
He was supposed to be that guy for real.
I said all we need is a playmaker.
Hey, listen, if you're the point guard and you're not a threat to score at all, what are
That's
you,
a
like a
problem.
Tara Rubio?
That's the
I was
problem.
saying this the other day. Sorry to interrupt you, but I was saying to myself the other day when they were, about to do the hack of Simmons, I was just like, can you be an all-star if you're a point guard? I understand the Shaqs and the bigs and some of the other bigs, but as a point guard who's supposed to lead the floor and you're the liability, is that possible? Can that work?
And see, I think that's a miscast too, man. Put Ben at the power forward, get a point guard, and he can be a playmaking forward, bro. I really think he's miscast, and he needs to shoot with the right hand.
So he's
I'm
gonna
looking at his
you're
tapes.
gonna be one of the smallest power forwards of all time.
Yeah, I wouldn't
He's
be
6'9". He's the same power forward
Yeah.
size as Draymond.
He's 6'9".
Yeah.
He's 6'9".
Why you got a
Play with
6'9"
6'10",
player
actually.
playing point guard? What are they doing?
'Cause
What
he
are they
can
doing?
do the ball.
That's what
He
he
is
been doing.
not Magic Johnson. Stop it.
That's my
Oh man, they got dude
recommendation.
listed at 6'11". They got him listed at 6'11".
Oh, my
Yeah.
bad. 6'11".
Hey, yeah, he
Go
should
ahead and put him at power forward. Great assessment.
Yeah.
Get him
Yeah,
out.
for real.
Get him out.
So that's-
Recast that position for real.
Yeah, that's what I think you should do, man. They need to get a point guard, put him in power forward, and then get him to actually start dunking the ball, doing layups, so they can do some pick and rolls with him. Because even with the playmaking point guard, the playmaking point guard can only get you the ball in the right situation. If you don't make the play, what do you have?
Also, if you're not a threat offensively, like some of your plays, you lose, some value there because they're gonna be like, oh, we know he's not gonna go for the score.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You got to be somewhat of a threat.
I got you. So
can't be scared of Trae Young coming at you when you're 6.
Just thought of Thin and Harry didn't know what to do, bro. Stop shedding on me.
Hey man, Dre's a killer, man.
I guess he's blocking shots out here, huh?
He's a killer.
Ain't he's a rim protector.
I didn't know that.
house.
I can't.
I took over the square.
I can't shot, won't shot, man. Go ahead. What you got on this hot take?
Yeah, just like I said before, I don't know how somebody like that could be on the floor as your guy when he just can't be up to snuff. I don't think his stock is dropped as bad as this all seems. I don't think his stock is dropped. Ben Simmons is not a good fit for this team.
Would you still
I think-
you still think he's worth 1-for-1 for Harden?
Not on that money. But maybe not that far to that kind of money playing somewhere that really doesn't have that much talent. Like there's a lot that he can do.
Where was it though? That's the question though. Where was all this lot that he could do? Because where
That's what
was
I'm
it?
saying. Sometimes you'll see a player in one situation and then they'll go to another situation and it's like, oh,
They'll
okay.
flourish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I would love to see that.
that's what I'm
Could
saying.
any of that explain why he gave up that shot though? Like that easy shot. You can't change a team and fix that. Like
Yeah.
you got to
Maybe.
fix that before you make a move.
Maybe he needs to be a number one. I don't know. Maybe him
His-
thinking like, oh, there's always somebody else that I need to pass to or I need to look for them. Maybe he just needs to be the guy who's just the offensive.
I don't think he has a mentality, man. Because even his post-game comments, he was like, "I am who I am," which to me speaks that
that's
I'm not going to try to
Yeah,
fix it.
I don't like.
I'm not going
that.
to try to fix it. I'm not
I
going to.
like to believe I am what I am, but like you said, like it sounds like this is what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Oh man, Kev, man, what you got, man?
I don't disagree with mostly anything y'all say, honestly speaking. I don't really know what to do with Ben Simmons right now. Because I was thinking like, man, like what process says. Point guard, if he moves, where would he go and how would he fit in and what would it do with him? And I still see the same problem wherever he goes. It's like, yo, we need the point guard to be somewhat of an offensive threat. You don't have to be the offensive juggernaut, but it's hard to be a point guard and not be somewhat of a person that can make a shot, especially like mid-range or some of the easy ones that he be getting sometimes. It's like, I don't know what to do with Ben Simmons. I don't know if he could go anywhere and make anybody better right now. So it's hard. Sad. I wish I had better news because I like to give some positive vibes and say yeah, but I'm confused. I'm gonna put it this way: I'm still confused about what's happening. What like that last shot really tripped me out. Like process says 3 shots in the fourth, all of game 7
games.
Like 7 games,
7
quarter,
quarters,
3 shots.
3
Come on,
shots.
man.
Yeah.
How do I fix that?
Yeah.
You know how you fix it? Just like every other shooter, you keep shooting. That's the reason why they say they have a short memory spans, because no matter how much you slump, we've seen J.R. Smith go through rounds of just being cold and streaky. But you know, guess what? He never turned down a shot. The dude kept shooting. And when it comes down to it, when it's important, he'll probably hit some shots. You had to get him started. You kind of put him in the right places and stuff. But
look, they've been doing that. We seen the footage where Brett Brown was there of Ben can make a 3-point. He's making corner threes in practice.
Yeah, but
practice
and every time. So guess what happens when in practice when you do something that everyone collectively unanimously think you did the wrong play, such as taking a shot. Like if you're wide open and you blow it, they stop the whole play. The coach will get in your face. He'll say whatever, or he'll just make you do like drills. All right, go. If you don't want to shoot, go run a lap every time. You don't want to run laps. You don't want to do suicide. You don't want to do none of that stuff. It forces you, and again, this is not for everyone, but like it forces you to stop being your own creator of your destruction of or you being unsuccessful. Not taking a shot is kind of doing that in this sense. Ben Simmons is too tall, too young, too athletic of a specimen to be not want to take a dunk. I would be dunking if I was 6'11". I'd be dunking on everyone all the time. And it's just like,
and he's a point guard.
And yeah, but
he gotta let people guard him. Like most times he tolerates anybody who's guarding him at the point guard position.
So he should be dunking all
Put him in the block.
Yeah.
So again, what should they do with them? Like you were saying, how can you fix that? You fix it through repetition. Everybody who has a jump shot now, for the most part, but like a lot of the superstars who have a jump shot now, they didn't come in with no jump shot.
Kawhi Leonard.
You know what I'm saying? Kawhi didn't even come with the offense. The dude, he built his offense in the NBA. So, look, I can't say this dude can't fix it, but it's all mental and it's built on confidence, and his confidence needs to be reinforced by positive outcomes. So he needs to be in situations where he has to see himself being successful and being put in those situations.
Was he drafted to Philly?
I gotta. Yeah,
so maybe he needs to play in a city with less expectation.
I got a question out for that, because it's funny when you said the mental thing. It made me think about it kind of goes into what Can't Shot Won't Shot says, man. I had to read that to make sure I said it right.
I know, man. You got to be having phrases. Everyone be having one.
Is it a Philly thing? Because Markelle Fultz, right? Hot shot in college, gets to Philly, this weird inexplicable injury happens. They can't resuscitate him, so he goes to Orlando, and he's doing, I guess, okay.
He's doing good, yeah.
So then Ben Simmons is the same way, and before Embiid, they had a couple of other big name centers that it seemed like they broke mentally. Who is it? Noel.
Noel.
Yeah, he had a nice little bump with OKC. So is it the Philly culture?
Well, Philly culture is, well, from the organization standpoint or from the city standpoint?
Organization.
So, I don't know Philly to be a great cultivator of talent. Meaning, they don't take in talent and polish them up. In my eyes, I don't know. Maybe someone else sees something different, but definitely, Philadelphia as a city, as a fan base, has certain expectations. I heard them. Again, I wasn't there, but I heard that when Markelle Fultz was going through his issues, they were trying to support him, because at least you could see him trying. Like, you can try and fail, and like they'll be behind you. What they don't like is them feeling like you gave up or you're not going to put the effort in, and them as a fan base is putting their support behind you. You're not trying. I think Philadelphia is just like one of those places where man, you got to come in and you already got to have it. Whether it's, you know, AI, he kind of already had it. Stackhouse, Stackhouse already had it.
Yeah.
Trying to think of some other stars that they had.
Really
Iguodala had it. I mean, he made it to the Olympics as a Philadelphia 76er.
Yeah.
So, you just kind of have to have it, I think, to some degree. But again, they're not going to make you better, huh?
Have what though? Is we talking about skill? Are we talking about
fearlessness,
willingness,
fearlessness, and the
is he
ability?
Fearful, though? I was gonna ask you guys that. Like, is he fearful? Do we know it's a confidence thing? I know we say it's mental, but mental could be so large. But we naturally think confidence. We naturally think, naturally think confidence when it comes to sports. But can it be something other than confidence that will?
I mean, it could definitely. I think it definitely could.
Being...
Because we're not in a position to diagnose him, but outside looking in, not wanting to take that because he looks physically sound. He's already admitted that it's mental. Everyone around him says it's mental. Yeah. Not taking that dunk when you're down. Well, they were down 2?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 2 or 1 maybe. I don't remember. Yeah. They needed that basket. I could tell you that. Whatever it was.
I mean, what else? It's point blank. It's right there.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it goes back into what I mentioned earlier. Like, you gotta forget about the last play. You can't let failures linger. I mean, it's just like with anything.
But is that what he's doing though? Like, I don't see anything about him doing that. I just feel like dude just ain't doing anything. Like, he just seems like he's nonchalant out there.
But then, like, what is it?
He don't seem scared though. He don't seem like he nervous or anything like that.
You think he just don't care?
I don't know. I'm trying to get to the bottom of that questioning y'all because
sometimes people show their fear different. Like, maybe it doesn't look like fear to the outside. Maybe sometimes they live in the moment, but they're just kind of numb or something. Like, who knows what it is?
Yeah. Or again, it may not be a fear in a sense of I'm afraid, so I'm a coward or I'm gonna run away from something. Yeah, he may be there, but again, like I said, he's thinking about it so much that everyone else is playing autonomously. Like, they're going with the flow of the game, and he's the one who's got to stop and think about it and process everything. And maybe, like he said, maybe he felt like someone's going to block his shot, but even in that situation, it stops the clock. Everyone gets a break, a breather. You can shoot free throws, and you draw an additional foul. That's a team foul and a personal foul. So
that's a very good point you made, and that's why I asked that question, because he should know this as well, right? So is it his decision making, not necessarily the fact that he's fearful or not confident or thinking about the last play?
You think
could it be he's just making? He's not making the right decisions. Yeah, he's not making the right plays.
I don't think it's his decision making, because there's been times in the season when Embiid's been out, both this year and last year, where Simmons went on a rip. He went on a tear, man.
Both ways, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can make the decision, sometimes you won't.
Yeah,
so it's like
that could be the only other angle I could think of. It's not fear, it's just boneheaded plays, just being out of focus.
He doesn't strike me as a boneheaded player, though.
He doesn't. But why he didn't do what Chris just said? Why he didn't? If he thought someone was coming behind him, he thought about passing it versus let me try to get this dunk, let him follow me, stop the clock, all this good stuff. Like, why did you choose to do that one? And or choose to pass the ball when you have a shot?
That kind of sounds like what Chris said, right? He overthinking it. You're not thinking about the things you should be thinking about. You're thinking about you're playing chess at this 3D level when you play. The game is actually checkers. Like, all you have to do is just go up and do the fundamentals. But you're like, wait, what if this guy and I do this instead? Like, it's already too
much
starts.
Too much starts.
Yeah.
All right, man.
So yeah, man. I don't know. Like, I get why you asked that question. I do, I do think whatever was going on ahead did impact his decision making. Obviously, right? Like, so we know his decision making was impaired or compromised to some degree based on some other element that we may not know. Like, there's an unknown there. We can only speculate. But Brian, just trade him at this point. Trade him.
I wish him the best. Yeah.
Trade him.
He can't come back to Philly.
I heard Portland don't want him. Portland said that they don't want him. I don't know. Orlando, maybe. I don't know.
I did hear interesting.
Orlando.
I think it was Ryan Rosillo on the Ben Simmons podcast. Maybe it was Ben. But they were talking about trading to Minnesota for
Yeah.
Cap?
I don't know how that's
no
going
Cap.
for
You're not gonna get Cap for real.
Ice guy.
What was
What's
it?
his name?
J-Lo?
D-Lo.
Russell? D-Lo.
Yeah.
Yeah, for him.
Yeah. I mean, that'll be better. That'll be a win for Philly.
Yeah, for sure. I was just saying, like, yeah.
Minnesota
for
has some
sure.
shooters though that they can surround around.
Okay.
And Cat's a great shooting big man. So if Simmons
Ben
can
at
get back to
five.
dunking the ball,
Yeah.
it'll be a good fit.
Yeah. I saw that as an option too. But again, bro, they got to be open to taking him in. They know it's a reclamation project at that point.
It could be also,
Yeah.
you know, what we were talking about, like with the shooting thing. Maybe in Philly there was this pressure to shoot. So now maybe in his head, maybe he's like, okay, don't dunk, but he's still not shooting. So he's just like getting it both ways. Maybe if he's in a situation where there's no pressure to shoot, he'll just get back to like he's done.
Hey,
like
this-
he said.
There's no pressure to win in Minnesota, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Yeah. We'll put a pin in that, man. Last thing on Ben, y'all want to send him some prayers?
Yeah, I wish him the best, man.
Yeah.
I hope somebody could do something with him.
Y'all want to start a
Kind of guy.
GoFundMe for his for a
Nah.
trainer, so he can go ahead and
He
Nah.
needs to start a GoFundMe for the fans of Philly. That's what he needs.
Yeah.
You need what Tony Robbins, man. Reach out to Tony, man. He help him out.
For real,
Once-
like, yeah, somebody need to unblock
Yo,
something for real.
That would be a crazy GoFundMe. I am one seminar away from completing Tony Robbins' program. Cash at me.
Not with that big ass salary. I ain't funny. You good.
Oh man, that's funny, man. Well, Ben Simmons, man, hopefully you turn your life around. You're in a dark place, man. Make sure you pick up some. I think playoff P left some his shades over there, man. Y'all can pick him up on the way back out, man.
Said that like he was on crack. I hope you turned your life around.
Oh man. Moving on, man. Philly, man. The more fallout from the Philly side of things, man. Doc Rivers, he has joined another milestone in his coaching legacy. Oh man, he's becoming the sole owner of the most Game 7 losses in NBA history. Also, this dude has lost 29 times in series clinching games, which, you know, also is the most for any coach who played more or coached in more than 20 games. So he got a championship with the Celtics. Ever since then, it's been travesty. Is Doc Rivers still an elite coach? Can't shot, won't shot. I know you got something to say about this.
Oh, I mean, I think, you know, they had success this season. It looked like this was going to be the season that they were going to go all the way. They were playing phenomenal, beating teams even when Embiid went down. So, you know, I was buying into it. I was like, maybe it was the Clippers. It's not Doc. You know?
Yeah.
It was those other guys. And now, you know, we see they ain't really getting as far. It seems like, you know, the ceiling that the Clippers hit, you know, even in their heyday with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin and everybody. So I was like, oh. And then I know maybe I misheard the quote about, you know, what he said about Ben Simmons, but even before that game, like, you should know if you really felt that way, you should have been talking about making adjustments way before. You can't, if that one game was the one that made him say, maybe we should do something different, then that says something bad to me about a coach. And that's where I'm at.
So he not elite no more? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I think if you could take a team to a championship, that makes you elite.
He's elite with concessions. Like, he's elite, but he still got his problems. Like, he's not perfect. That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, I
Yeah.
guess the bigger question is, does elite have to be like maintaining elitism throughout your career, or just being elite at one point?
That's the question I was asking myself. That's a good one. I was like, would it change because he lost now? Because coaches lose.
Yeah, 31 coaches lose.
Because if he never got that Celtics win, then basically he would have been another coach that we don't talk that much about. There's a lot of them.
True.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the coaching is about the process, though, man, because we still respect Spoelstra. Granted, he had the LeBron years in Miami, man, but It was how he handled his in-game adjustments that we love, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doc, bruh, elite. You have the record for the most Game 7 losses, and Chris Owens said your thunder with this one. I think you said it right. The playoff clinching games, 29. So even in the Atlanta series, there were 2 times where Philly could close out Atlanta, 6 or 7. You lose both of them. You lose these great leads, and there's something about Doc. There's a lot of similarities between his Philly team and the Clippers team last year. Granted, the bubble was a special thing, but the Clippers and Philly were both superior teams to the teams they lost. That's, I think, a unanimous thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And somehow he manages to steal the thunder from each team. He's the opposite of Thor, whatever that is, right? He's a thunder stealer. So I don't get that. That, to me, that's not elite, because what's the process at?
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I thought so too. Doc, there's a lot of disappointing things that you're seeing with his coaching style.
Yeah, he could have a ceiling. Maybe.
Because everybody was talking about Game 7, but it's just like, it seemed like another situation where it wasn't Game 7, it was Game 6 and 7 that they messed up on. Just like Kurt brought up, it's like, 2 times in this series they lost clinching games, and I feel like that happened more often than not when they did lose.
He has a record for the most 3-1 losses, up 3-1.
Yep,
for somebody still.
Yeah,
that's crazy though.
How do you do?
But is it just like bad luck though, or is it just?
I'm wondering that. Is this coincidence?
Just a string of bad luck, or is it just like?
Let's look at the last.
I think that's possible, but I feel like the problem is after the game, here you go seeing Doc again talking about it. Always seems like it's a lack of player effort when they lose.
So yeah,
it's not like our guys gave it everything they got. The other team just hit us faster, stronger. It's always like, we didn't play defense. They weren't focused, or, they're not trying hard enough. It's always that kind of thing.
So is he a good teacher but not a great disciplinarian? Because we see Tom Thibodeau, he's a great disciplinarian. Like the dude, you can see the effort that people put out under his tutelage. Or Monty Williams, he's a great teacher. He inspires them to play above their level, apparently.
Monty's a great coach.
Yeah, but he's a teacher though. Like he's able to relate to a lot of the players in a way that maybe other coaches can't. And every head coach has like a specialty. Doc Rivers is really good at making his team play defense, and that's the only difference that I can see between Philly of last year and Philly of this year. Like this year, they were second in defensive, I think, efficiency or something like that. Defensive rating or defensive efficiency. So he obviously knows defense. Every team he went to is really good at defense. But is he just a good defensive coach there, or is he just is he a good teacher, or is he a good motivator?
Let's think about this.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's neither, because you said there's a type of coach that can, make sure, like, be rigorous and make sure you do everything right, like that kind of coach, and the other one that can inspire. I feel like he's kind of like not the hands-on guy, so it's not the one that's being rigorous. It's a quote unquote supposed to be more inspirational, because it always seems like if you were the coach and you were there and you knew the guys put in the work all season, you wouldn't be making those kind of comments. You know what I mean? It seems like it's coming from a place that you told them to go work on this, and the expectation is they were supposed to do it, but obviously they did. That's how it kind of seems up. And if that's the case, you're also failing because you're not properly motivating guys to do those processes. Even if you don't want to be the guy who's doing the sets and watching them do everything, but the fact that you're not inspiring to do those things or inspiring to challenge themselves. So it looks like he doesn't have either one.
Hey, I'm with Reg on this one, man, because look at the teams we're giving them credit for being like defensive minded. Boston, we just talked about this, man. KG, Rondo, Ray Allen wasn't no punk, and then what your fifth or sixth man was who's my boy that came from Memphis, defensive specialist?
James Posey, Tony Allen. He didn't come from Memphis. He started in Boston though.
Oh, you're right, Tony Allen. And PJ Brown was on that team, the championship team,
PJ
right?
Brown, yep.
All right, come on. No, we're not gonna give him credit. And you had Tom Thibodeau. We're not giving you credit.
You said we're not giving him credit?
No.
What about when he was Orlando?
Was he considered? We have to look up that stat. I don't know.
Yeah, well, he's considered a good coach there. That's where he kind of made his name. He had no experience before.
You had McGrady and you had Grant Hill and could have got in the first round. Okay. And then in the Clippers, you had two of the premier wing defenders on your team. I want to say he's a great defensive coach, or is it the players?
Yeah. But I'm saying though, when do you slice that pie on whether or not it's the players or the coach? Because right now we're putting a lot of shit on Doc, but there was players out there that weren't making shots, weren't making right plays, and doing the do. So when do we talk about the players versus when do we talk about the coach? Is it just when we're trying to make a point?
I think for me it's a trend. Like coach is there for like a year.
Mm-hmm.
We look at Doc's historical record, right? That he has enough data for us to analyze.
Yeah.
For instance, I think Eric Spoelstra is a good one because we look at in-game adjustments. Even when we had teams that didn't have the star power, Miami was still competitive. Those guys still balled out for Spoelstra's. So his
in-game adjustment, you have LeBron, which is a player that's very good at making adjustments and a very smart player. So
after the LeBron years.
No, he's talking about after LeBron.
After the LeBron years.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's talking about taking average teams. I'm talking about not.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could definitely see it in some coaches. I just don't have the absence of it or the presence of these things that line up makes the point necessarily.
I think it's both the players and the coach that need to be held accountable, and I think we obviously are holding the players accountable. But I think at the end of the day, the coach is supposed to make sure those players are in a good place, and if not, they control the roster and the rotation. So why are these guys that you are saying it's them? Why are you not seeing this thing in other games and other film and other practices and making these rotations?
Hey, at the end of Game 6, a reporter asked Doc pretty much, "Are you going to take Ben Simmons out?" They had the stat. Are you going to take Ben Simmons out for the fourth quarter of Game 7 and put in somebody else? It wasn't. I forgot his name. I forgot what it was. But they have a shooter on the bench, and Doc was like, "Are you asking me to bench Ben Simmons?" He just laughed it off. So then in the fourth quarter of Game 7, Ben started the fourth. At the 6-minute mark, he took him out. Philly made a little run. Then 2 minutes in, he put him back in the game. And then that missed opportunity happened. So it's like he told the line. And that's a Doc thing. I mean, unless stuff happened, front office calls, say, hey, put him in. You know, we don't know. But
we don't know.
Face values, it looks like Doc right now. It appears to be.
Yeah. Maybe after he leaves, he'll let us know differently. Oh, but one thing before we move to anything else, I just want to say we talking about a lot of the negative. Shout out to Steph Curry, bro. Like I watched a couple of those games, and he looked like he should have been getting Ben Simmons money. Like,
he probably gonna get a next contract.
He will get next contract.
And Ben Simmons may not get that next contract.
Shooter, like it may not be as much as we see around Steph Curry, but man, he was knocking him out. He put himself on that level of Danny Green.
Who was the second best player on that team?
It was supposed to be the other dude, Tobias Harris.
But who wasn't in the playoffs though? In this series?
I think it was Seth, to be honest.
Me too.
I think it was Seth.
Interesting.
I want to say one more thing, which is not going to go into any depth.
Yeah.
I thought about Doc. I haven't really seen him have much players that were, that player coach, that on court. He had it with the Celtics.
CP3.
You could have picked one. Pick who you want. KG, Paul Pierce. Pick one. Rondo. Have many of those guys. And I thought about some of the other teams that had successes, and some of the teams that are not, like teams with Kawhi and stuff like that. And Kawhi haven't really shown himself to be that type of a
leader,
player. Yeah.
But they have CP3,
I'm wondering has something to do with it too.
He has CP3.
He did.
He did, but that was a mess.
I mean,
I don't know what was.
Yeah,
him and CP3 were on the same page.
Yeah, that was messy. That whole thing was messy. Yeah. He did have CP3 though. Yeah, you had that guy. Yeah. That seemed like a team thing, chemistry though. That was a funny guy.
Because I would say that Lob City team is better. I feel like the Lob City team is better than this Phoenix team.
On paper.
On paper.
I wouldn't.
Yes.
If I was gonna put my money on, I'd put on in Philadelphia because
Phoenix.
Blake Griffin is. I'm sorry, you said Phoenix or?
Phoenix team. So I'm thinking about the CP3 pair.
Oh.
That Lob City team.
Phoenix team is better, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm putting my money.
Yeah,
on.
Lob
Phoenix
City?
is better.
Phoenix.
Yeah, guess what? It was Lob City. Guess what that means? Your talent is predicated on Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan.
Dude, yeah, JJ, CP3, and some of the years they had Jamal Crawford and they had Collison, or was it?
Darren
had
Collison.
Collison.
Yeah, Darren Collison at one point.
Yeah. So they had some lone ball.
They had some shooters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but JJ Redick doesn't really play defense, so if he's not hitting the shot, then he's pretty much useless. Darren Collison, he's a good backup, but are y'all gonna
Backup.
Yeah, but are y'all gonna predicate that around him being a good like go look at like even compare him to what Channing Payne off the bench. Like I'm gonna put my only person who I would think about putting that comparing him to a Jamal Crawford. It's because I really do like Jamal Crawford. He's a savvy veteran.
You know what you're gonna get from Jamal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would pick DeAndre Ayton over DeAndre Jordan any day.
I mean, no, you're saying that though, but back then these guys were playing differently, and no one was picking Suns in the beginning. You know, you were jumping out your seat saying, "Oh, look at Suns go!"
wasn't.
You know.
No, you're right.
Matter of fact, you were on the opposite side. You keep telling us why we tripping off of these 8 games. You were making it seem like it was like we were on cloud 9 or something.
That was
so,
especially me.
That was exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't strong.
Yeah, I
with it.
was on cloud 9. It was only 8 games. Like,
yeah, but
Double
how they
champs.
played, man, how they played was it said something. But anyway, we're getting back into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't talk about Phoenix. Not like you always knew they were just this great team.
No, I don't know. I honestly, I'm not judging them by the season. I'm not judging them by no bubble. I'm judging them by how they play against their competition in this year's playoff. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So
they play very well.
So real quick, this is for Kane shot one shot. You picking Tyronn Lue or you picking Doc Rivers?
Tyrone, I switched it up. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Good.
And you know what it is? I stand by what I said before, but I think he's the coach. But I've noticed this on the Clippers too. I think sometimes Ty Lue just be looking into outer space. I promise you. I'm gonna tell you one time. Maybe y'all remember watching this or not. There's been a lot of basketball, and I'm really glad. I think they just said it. That it was the first day in 35 days or so we ain't had basketball. But I'm watching the Clippers play, and I forgot. I don't know if it was Marquise, the Morris twin, or somebody did something, and they or somebody got called for something, and they were vehemently just like, sure, they ain't do it. And you know everybody's doing this and all that, and then Tyronn Lue is just up there looking at the camera like he's watching the game with the rest of us. And everybody's trying to get him to throw the challenge flag, and he's just like, I wonder if they're gonna throw the challenge flag. And I just think that's what Tyronn Lue does, and it makes us think like he's like that all the time. So that explains why he was sitting like this, like he was watching the game, and LeBron was holding up. It was just one of his moments when he just not there.
He just spaced out.
But that doesn't mean it's all the time and he's a bad coach.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my slander back.
Thank you.
It's new slander. I'm gonna take some of my old slander and give him new slander.
All right.
Today he's spaced out. Oh man. Okay. All right. Well, good luck to Doc, man. Y'all think he'll get another head coaching job?
Yeah.
Okay.
You think they're gonna fire him?
No. I mean, they're not gonna fire him. Not this year.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just saying, if he was to lose his job, would you think he's
Oh.
good enough as a head
Legacy
coach to
tarnish.
still having a cash out?
Well, I guess we can't answer that because that would be like when this contract ends with the landscape. He might be phased out by then. He might be like a dinosaur.
Every year, man, there's
knows?
openings. Rick Carlisle just stepped down. Terry Stotts fired. So
Yeah, but there's other coaches out there too.
But as
That's
I'm
the thing.
saying, it might be time for new
A new
people. in
generation.
the school, and he's a little bit.
I'll step out there and say I think he'll probably get another one.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
Because the NBA is good. They do bring in new blood, but also good
They
at
keep-
recycling.
Yeah, they keep the old
Yeah.
blood too. They do it. It's a good balance, I think.
Yeah. It might
Man,
be. Yeah.
it's a bad look for him right now, though. I mean, I know he's gonna wear off, but having your name up there with the worst losing, like,
Anything,
like,
yeah.
it's just like, man, those are the kind of titles you don't want going into.
I don't think the slander's been this bad. Like, they're pulling up. It's not just you suck. Here's statistics to show how bad. Oh, I've never seen that for a coach before.
Yeah, man, they're showing the trend.
And it's one thing to be like, go into something, or it's just like when you're the top of the class, it's like, yeah, I'm the number one, or just average. You got to kind of put some sauce on it. But when you're the worst, you come into like, tell me about the time you were the worst coach. Like that is, it hurts.
It does.
Hey man, that comes with a job, man. So
Even though in hindsight you can't just say the worst. Like he's the worst of the best. Like he does get these teams that far, whether it's teams that are just talented or he does it, whatever he plays in it.
You're right, because Ty Lue took a broken Clippers team to the Western Conference Championship.
Man, PG did that.
Oh,
You're right,
playoff
yeah.
P? You mean playoff P? You mean playoff P?
I said that for you, man. I said that for you, Chris.
Kawhi did that. Kawhi
We
did
gonna
that.
blame
Playoff
we gonna
P.
blame
That
Doc.
for you.
We gonna
Kawhi
blame
wasn't even there for the game. What are you talking about?
He got them to the. He got them to.
Yeah, but he ain't clinched it.
Hey.
And we're talking about clinching right now.
Yeah, this is what you want.
That's the topic of discussion.
This is what you wanted to see.
playoff P blame Doc, and he might have been right, guys.
Hey,
There you go.
again.
My mind freed up.
Hindsight, bro. Hey, yeah, I was trying to tell y'all to get on this playoff P, redemption
Bandwagon?
tour, but y'all didn't want to get on it. Some of y'all didn't want to get on it. So I'm just letting y'all know. The plane taking off.
Sure
bro.
he wasn't sure if there was
That's
gonna be
the
light. He ain't know if there was gonna be light on the bandwagon. It was kind of dark in there.
Hey, shout out to Reggie Jackson for.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Still
Shout out to
He
Ray.
said, I'm gonna take the spotlight off of that for a second. That was smooth.
Boy. Hey, yo, man, go ahead and let the animosity just eat you up in the inside. As playoff P
Man,
continues
Reggie really
to
stepped
shine.
his game up. I respect what he's doing, man. Him and the Morris twin, man. They
Who,
stepped
playoff
up
P?
big time.
Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson and
All
the
of them.
Morris
Yeah,
twin.
Randy
They stepped
Jackson,
up.
Morris
Oh, okay.
Twin, PG. The Clippers have to step up.
Cousins, 11 points.
37 points. 37 points.
And man, and let's not forget man though.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
man, yeah.
Oh, talk
Yeah,
about
man,
who
too.
stepped
Who
up.
got 30 plus points in 4 out of 5 last games? Oh.
I gotta use the bathroom.
This guy.
Definitely PG got his sauce too, man. I'm like, you know what? This was the Clippers team we all wanted to see. The Clippers team we was like battling late and it was hype and all that.
Yep.
And they never showed up.
They
They
never
ain't
showed
come.
up.
We
They
was waiting
didn't have man.
outside.
They didn't have man. They didn't have
He asked
man.
Mama why he ain't want us. Like we went through all those emotions. And just when you think he a deadbeat daddy, he came in on your birthday.
Really?
Yep. That's the analogy that he's going for.
It just seems like that. Like the Clippers weren't gonna do it. They just seemed like they didn't care. They didn't have no.
It was weird.
They knew y'all wanted them to win, and they just didn't feel like doing the work. And then right when we all gave up on them, that's when they just show up out of nowhere.
They did.
I don't know.
They did.
The time you least expect Kawhi's down. Where's
Kawhi,
Kawhi?
yeah.
Maybe.
They're done for. They couldn't do it with Kawhi.
Hold on. Maybe that was the catalyst. Now that Kawhi is on the bench, now it opens up space and opportunity for playoff P to thrive. I don't know. Maybe.
Nah, for man, that's where you open up space
Yeah,
for like
man,
trade Kawhi
man,
right now.
killing.
Like I'll trade Kawhi and get some cash
And
because I'll
man.
ride with man and PG.
Ooh.
I'm good with that right now.
Hey, all right. Hey, as long as
Nah.
PG still
Yo,
in the
they
picture.
clinched the game without Kawhi. I can't imagine a game clinched without LeBron. I can't imagine a game clinched without Embiid. I can't imagine a game clinched without Antetokounmpo. I can't imagine a game clinched with I could go on. That's like unheard of, man. The dude, come on now, man.
Give me
Clippers came out
Kawhi,
and
man.
clinched.
I'll trade PG and keep quiet.
Ooh, look at that. Look at that anger, that bitterness right there. He's like,
He
disgusting.
did something to him, man.
Took his
Follow
lunch
me
money.
when PG wins the series.
He clinched
Why
the win.
already?
He did win the series. that already happened.
Without Kawhi?
Yes.
Yes!
No way.
Win.
Nah, he's trolling us right now.
Win.
He
Yeah,
did
for
not
you.
just
Let's move
on
he
to the
did
next
not
one.
just
He won a
ask
game.
for the exact
Utah
situation
Jazz.
that just
He
happened.
win a game.
Dude, it was a
That's a
clinch
clinching
zone.
series.
No, but
Who
Kawhi
got
was
him there?
gone for the last 2 games that they won.
Huh?
Kawhi was
He
not
was-
there for the last 2 games that
It
they
was
won.
just play, exactly, huh?
You just said it was one
confused.
game. It was like,
I got
no.
them there,
The
man.
dude
Don't-
sound like
don't-
R. Kelly.
You
Define the
said
game.
got them there. Yo, Doc got them there.
How old is too old? How old is too
I like-
young? What you talking
I
about?
like game clinching
know.
and I like non-game clinching.
Oh,
Hey, what was the
man.
next topic? Man, I'm not talking about no.
And we just gonna cut out this whole R. Kelly, man. We ain't get
Yes.
Shout out to Playoff P, man, and all his goodness. Let's
that. You
move
gonna say
on.
shout out to Kel or something?
Hey, I thought he was too. I got scared for a minute.
Let's move on, man. In the other side of things, man, the Bucks have advanced, knocking out the Nets, man, who are officially out in the Game 7 overtime thriller, man. We had both stars show up on each side, man. I believe Giannis had like 40 points. KD had like 48 points. It was back and forth. It was a close game. And KD hit 48 points in Game 5 and in Game 7. The dude missed knocking out the Bucks by mere inches on his foot. The dude's feet is too big, and man, it costed him. It cost him. So, yeah, man, he left his heart out there. Great performance. For the Nets as a whole, man, what do y'all say? How do y'all sum up the season of the Nets so far, man? Kevin?
Injuries, man.
Thumbs up season. I would say, man, for all those injuries, for the
Yeah.
lack of chemistry building,
Yeah.
to make it where they made it, almost winning it without Kyrie, without fully healthy Harden, putting the whole entire weight on KD, who just came back. Let's not forget that. He
Yep.
came back, and he came back just like he never left, but he still
Yeah.
just came back.
On his back.
And it's like, man, I can't. Yeah, this is like a win. Take it back
So
next season.
This is a successful season, you say? When
I would say it was successful. They might have had different hopes, but all the pieces weren't even there. So it's like it's hard to even judge whether or not
Wait
it
and
was
see.
bad. Yeah,
Mhm.
Gotcha.
And even with all that, all the people that hated that whole arrangement, it was great to see basketball. Like when they were playing, it was really fun to watch and something I wanted to keep seeing. So even
Especially
if
at
you
full
hated
strength.
it, you wanted to see it.
I wanted to
Look
see
away.
it. I was sad when Kyrie went down. I was like, oh man, he's gone back to like a team with one star and just
Bro,
trying to pull the
All
whole
our powers
like,
combined, but we ain't make
hey,
didn't make it.
hey. I'm gonna say something, but I'm gonna let the process speak on whatever he gotta say.
Hey, man, to go to the next question, yeah, it was beautiful to see them all together. For Harden to be injured, that's rare. He's pretty durable. I don't see that happening next season. But Kyrie and Kevin Durant recently, unfortunately, has been injury prone. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they rebuild that roster. Because I know Dinwiddie, he opted out, man. He wants to test out free agency.
Yep.
He's a good backup point guard for Kyrie.
Mhm.
But I think he doesn't want to be the backup role. So I feel him on that. He was a starter when the Nets made it to the playoffs before they got those stars.
Yep.
I think the couple of inches you're talking about when KD hit him with that dagger. Oh my God, that was beautiful. Oh man, I was happy and crying simultaneously. I was like, the Warriors, down to a dynasty. He's probably gonna build a new one in the Nets. But I think that was the worst thing to happen to the Bucks. Honestly, the fact that they did win that series, because I think Budenholzer has taken them as far as he can take them. And I think, how we talked about Monty and how he can raise a team's expectations and what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Budenholzer is the other way around. I think the players, that team, is raising his coaching expectations simply because the rotations and some of the things I've seen just weren't there. If it wasn't for Drew Holiday getting hot late and Middleton coming out of his coma late in the game, man, to help out Giannis.
They come out of coma.
Come out of
He
his
wasn't in no
coma.
coma.
They had a
Insane.
terrible game, man, but they came alive when they needed the most, right? So I can't steal credit there. The in-game adjustments, man, once again, I think, and who knows, maybe they got Giannis to finally stop taking threes and drive into the hole. That played a major difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But I know his job's been on the line for a minute because he keeps delivering the same product year in, year out without any changes. So we'll see. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully he coaches him on to the championship game and we'll see what he can do.
Okay. All right. Kev, you got something on this?
I mean, I said a little bit of my piece already, but with the Bucks side, I don't know. I feel like both teams didn't show out. Nets had a reason, but Bucks, the way they were struggling, confused me sometimes.
He gets
And
a
I wasn't
one-star
sure.
team. A one-star team.
No, but Middleton is a. I don't know if he's been in the All-Star, but he's definitely an All-Star.
Oh no, I'm talking about against the Nets. Because
Against the Nets,
Harden,
yeah, definitely.
his state, he wasn't at star status.
Yeah, he wasn't star. It was a
It
one-star
wasn't bad
team.
as game one though. Game one
It
was
wasn't.
terrible.
And I was just struggling to figure out if either of these teams will be that entertaining moving forward, going on. Like just because of the hobbleness of Nets and Kyrie and KD having to do everything, not everything, but carry the offensive load. And then the Bucks just seeming to be here and there, iffy, hit or miss. Sometimes it looks like they're flowing, other times they're not.
Yeah.
From one half to the next, things change, and that happens, but I would prefer to see more consistency from them, given they've been here before, like you said. They've been primed to be in this position. So I wanted to see a little bit more dominance with when Kyrie and Harden was hot. I want to see more dominance from them and taking over those games and winning it definitively. And I don't think they won it definitively.
Gotcha.
So I'm shaky on the Bucks, and I'm looking for Nets next year.
Okay. All right. Can't shot, won't shot, man. What's your take on the Nets season and also the Bucks moving on to the?
I might have to disagree with the winning was the worst thing that ever happened to him. You always want to stay in the fight. If you're there, there's a chance that you can win. You're in the playoffs for a reason.
Of course.
You never know what the team might go through. You never know what that team is going through. That if they just keep persevering, that you can get as far as you can. And that's what the coach did. And we've seen this before, though. Like, you can get somewhere, the team further than you did before, and still get the axe. So if he's really a problem, he'll still be gone, even if they got a little bit deeper this time.
Oh, Dwayne Casey. Shout out to Dwayne Casey.
Yeah, exactly.
Coach of the year, you get fired the same year.
Yeah. That's it.
It happens.
Oh, wow.
It happens. It happens.
Exactly. When they're ready to part ways, they're ready to part ways. For
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, yes, tough. Bucks definitely should have been more dominant. It shouldn't have been that close. But two of the big guys, not two of them down, but one down and one severely hobbled. So like, that was your time to dominate and show that you belong.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, as far as the Bucks, they actually show why they needed like some more veterans, because I would not have let James Harden play 50-something minutes in Game 6 with one leg.
Yeah.
And not be attacking this dude every time. The dude could not play defense. Literally, he could not move his feet. The dude was pivoting every time like a sliding door, like an automatic door. As soon as someone goes through him, it was crazy. I would be attacking him every time. I would put Giannis on him every time.
Yeah. And the plays they did attack him, you just saw them blow by and he just turned around and like, oh no. Yeah. You saw a couple plays like that.
Yeah.
And I think he only scored like one basket, and then the rest of his like 4 or 5 points were from free throws. It was just a terrible return.
So I would just be working his hamstring as much as possible. It doesn't make any sense. But they made it. They survived. It was unnecessary.
He definitely survived. That's a proper word.
Yeah, that's the word for real.
Yeah.
That's sad though.
But to sum up the Nets season, man, this was, I don't want to say this is everything I predicted, but it was something that I did have high concern on, and I think part of that was because they were all older. They're all in their 30s. They don't have the bounce back as we say, like, as people who are younger. Like, they're more injury prone. It takes longer for them to get back, from nicks and little tweaks and stuff like that. it sucked to see what happened with Kyrie. But I knew he was out. Like he wasn't coming back after that ankle sprain. At least how he hurt himself. James Harden shouldn't have been out there in the first place. But I mean, if you want to give him an A for effort, he got an A for effort for showing that he's there with the team.
Do you think this kind of changes
his game was enough though?
You think this kind of changes? Maybe not changes his legacy, but it's a notch in the right direction for his legacy because Harden's always been described as weak in the playoffs. And it doesn't show up for the big game. Granted, you can't knock him for his performance because he had one leg, but the heart was there.
Yeah, his heart is rarely ever gone. I think a lot of times what happened with him to where it was kind of messed up or it would put him in an unfavorable light was the fact that he was the only guy who was the main scoring option, and I think because of that responsibility, maybe either in his head or maybe he was something that he bought into, but his contribution is score as many points as possible. I'm gonna just shoot. I'm gonna just shoot all the way into the championship, but it's more than that. Like you kind of have to get everyone else to play their roles. You gotta have everyone bought in defensively. There's so much more to it, and then there's a little bit of luck to it. So I don't think it really tarnished or polished his outlook. I think a lot of people who think James Harden is good still think James Harden is good. I think people who think he's not going to make a championship still going to feel that way. But I mean, like I said, I do think that he did buy stock or he did earn some cachet with the organization and his teammates by stepping out there when the dude didn't have a leg. He literally was missing a part of his organs and part of his muscle group. Like it was just like nah. It showed, but he played all 52 minutes or 48 minutes or 47 minutes.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's a lot of minutes.
So, I think I would say that some of the Nets has some great individual awards. KD obviously coming back from Achilles, tearing it up. You know what I'm saying? Doing some basically playing all the minutes, and looking LeBron-esque.
Yeah. He didn't look winded after the games at all.
Yeah, he the dude was
deservedly so.
Yeah. James Harden for what I already mentioned. Joe Harris for what he did, what he contributed. But as a team collectively, it was 15 individual players, or maybe 12 team players and 3 individual players. Like it looked like a summation of their season. So next year, man, if they're gonna run it back, I'm not gonna tell them to blow up the team like Philadelphia, because I'm still saying blow up the team in Philadelphia.
Can't say that.
Hey,
you haven't even seen the team.
Hey,
you haven't even seen it.
Hey,
what do you mean blow it up?
Blow up Ben. Take Ben Simmons, trade him. If y'all traded him last year, y'all would have got more value from him. Joel Embiid is injury prone. He has some questionable knees or back or things like that. To me, it seems like with him being your number one option, you're going to always fight that injury bug.
Yeah, they got to capitalize, because how many more years of prime Embiid are you going to get, man? It's fragile. And I think this is like the opportunity, man. So the notes I was taking before, I was wondering, when was the last time that neither favorite from either side made it to the championship game? And so I went back. This is off my memory. Because you go back, it's a whole bunch of Golden State, right? LeBron teams, Miami, Cleveland, and you go back further, you go into the Chicago years. But there was one year that the favorite did not make it, man, on either side. Within the past 2 decades.
Yeah.
And that was 1999, after Jordan retired. The favorites were the Jazz, of course. They just went to 2 championships, right? So, of course, it'd be the favorite. I remember them being the favorite in LA, right? Same side of the conference. All right, cool. 99 was the Spurs and the Knicks. Nobody saw the Knicks coming that year. So, this year, the top defensive teams, New York, LA, Clippers, Philly, Phoenix. Top offense, Milwaukee was number 1 offense. After that, Brooklyn, Utah, Portland, Washington. So you got one team left that's in the top 5 offensive rating.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't in the top 5 for defense. And Milwaukee's normally known for their defense.
Generally, yeah.
Yeah. So you got one team left in the top. Well, 2 teams left in the top 5. The Clippers and Phoenix. So, but neither one was a favorite. It was LA and it was the Nets.
Yeah.
So this is a unique season, man. And I think Embiid knows he lost out on the opportunity to get the chip, or at least compete for the chip, because it's not going to break like this again for a long time.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, man. I think the Nets they're going to come. They should run it back. They should.
They don't have a choice.
Yeah. I don't even want to say like, don't take days off, don't load manage, but I think they need to play a considerable amount of games together to get their flow and rhythm. That's personal.
They were playing good. They were playing pretty good. Like, they do need to get the flow rhythm, but even with whatever they've acquired, or however they just played naturally, it was pretty good, man. The passing was there. It wasn't beautiful. All isolation. That's what I was scared of. I thought it was gonna be all isolation, but it wasn't that. It was some ball movement, some passing, and I was liking it. A lot of time KD was off the ball, which is what he should be.
Yeah, he should be off the ball.
It wasn't good. They were playing pretty all right. Like,
I love this version of Harden when both of them out there. Right.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that version of Harden.
Yeah, and Harden's a natural playmaker too.
Yeah. Everything we wanted to be more.
Yeah, I just feel like they'd be more in sync. Like maybe there was they lost because the dude wears 1 foot, 1 size, half an inch too big. Like the dude, like that was how thin it was from them making it, probably from them making it and not making it. It was very thin. So
and you gotta give them credit for being like, they're like the new Frankenstein, man. They brought Blake Griffin back from the dead, bro.
Blake Griffin was faking. I keep trying to tell y'all, the dude, he did not want to play in Detroit.
Stop saying that, man.
He was faking.
Stop saying that. That's conjecture.
He was. Hey.
Can't wait till Blake Griffin run into you in the street. Want you to have that same.
Hey, don't be singing that Michael Rappaport tune, man. Don't go do a 180.
I'll put it on Instagram, put it on blast. So. Get my name out here in these streets, man. Get some more subscribers. Anything else?
We'll do that for real.
Anything else y'all want to say on
Mr. Shooter versus Blake Griffin versus celebrity boxing?
Hey, y'all can talk about those knees, man. I know you had that. It was a knee issue, right?
Who, me and Blake?
Yeah.
Yeah, but mine was actually real. The dude here was faking for 2 years.
Wow.
Oh, I can't dunk no more. Oh, I can't dunk. My neck.
Now, man, he never said he can't dunk anymore. He was trying to improve another aspect of his game. But anyway,
he was on a no dunking. He was on a no dunking policy.
Maybe they told him not to dunk. Maybe they were like, man, take it easy. You're a valuable asset to us.
Yeah, his agent said that. Hey, man, don't dunk for 2 years, man, so we can move you real quick.
So, hey, man, I read your contract. They're not paying for dunks.
I like that agent. He's pretty much playing a free year right now.
Agent, like, exactly, right? It's like,
like a Rich Paul move. Like a Rich Paul move. Hey, AD, just stop playing, bro. We'll get you to LA.
Wow.
Yo, they took AD out, but let's get into that.
Yeah.
Those guys.
You heard it here first, bro. Breaking news from the process.
Oh man. Alright, man. Anything else I want to say before we wrap this up, man? We've been deep in these weeds.
Yeah.
A little longer.
I don't open up any other weeds. I'm gonna ask you other questions off air.
Okay. Alright, but let's go ahead and wrap this up, man. The process, man. What you got to go? What to say with, man?
Hope everyone had a good Father's Day, happy and a safe Juneteenth, and continue to bring in, man, more views, more love. We appreciate it.
Cool. Kev.
I'm just gonna second that. Everything he said makes sense. Appreciate y'all following, subscribing, watching, and they can do your time as well. So we appreciate you spending your time with us.
Cool. Can't shot, won't shot.
Appreciate y'all coming out, checking us out. You know, hit that like button, follow, subscribe, and just thanks for rocking with us. It's been a fun episode.
Yo, man, you gotta do the Harlem Shake one time though.
Shot.
What was
Why
that?
you ask him to do it? Why you ask him to do it?
I thought he was gonna do it for real. The dude did that boy did a drunken
sway
version.
left, sway right. It's a drunken version.
This boy said,
Oh, a super drunken version.
Hey, you look like Mason Bethel,
Alright,
bro.
so y'all wanted me to do it. Y'all wanted me to do the Harlem Shake, like for real. Like I was doing the real smooth '90s version.
you try to be cool with it. Nah.
You can't be cool with it. You gotta be live.
Oh man. That's good, man. I appreciate that. And this is Crystal Shooter, man. Make sure you subscribe. Hit us 5 stars, man. Give us the likes, man. Send all the love our way. The more you do that, the more we'll be able to feed you with all of these hot takes and entertainment. So I appreciate y'all's time. Again, feel free to subscribe, share, tell a friend, and tell a friend. And yeah, man, we'll be back with another episode. Until then, man, peace, guys.